What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash today. I have a shirt behind me. I didn't know that it was there. I just saw it on the camera there, but this is my fellow traveler shirt. I won this in my taco contest. It will be my cape for today. It must have been in some of my other videos too. But anyways, we're not here to talk about that. I ate 34 tacos, and I'm the current taco titan at a local restaurant called Fellow Traveler, for those of you who don't know. But anyways, looking at Bitcoin Cash, shout out to the Dragon Riders, the Luchadores, the House of the Dragon. We are getting it today, man. And so far, this what I've been saying about Bitcoin Cash over the past few days, with this high here in mind, I was saying that I was giving it like a 50-50 chance that we might go above it, but we also could not go above it. Regardless of what we were to do, I am under the impression and have been under the impression since we made this low that we ultimately will go lower than it. Even though we have yet to break this high, I still would say we have like a 50-50 chance to break above still. We very well could still go higher. After all, if we're looking at this here, we put a line right here on this 4-hour high close. We are finding support on a previous area of resistance, so that's not looking bad. We moved down. We've been moving sideways. We haven't pursued prices lower yet, so that's not looking bad either. Volume is dying off, to be completely fair, which isn't encouraging. The RSI is bullish. It's bullish. Technically, it's neutral, but you're holding this 50, man. I mean, you really could turn up from here. I would say neutral with a bullish tilt, but I kind of like the way that it looks. You kind of look like you're in a nice uptrend with the RSI. If this was to hold, you could maybe move sideways for a little bit more. Maybe that's not even drawn appropriately. Let's see. Something like that. I don't know, something like that. You could turn around very soon and then make a move up to this purple line, which is all the way at like 212, maybe even above it to like 220, something like that, which is the same area that I've been talking about for a little while now. If we were to go on a weekly, we can see here that we are currently bouncing off of the 50. This week only has 1 day and 20 hours left, about 2 days left in it. We'll see if it can close red. That's only 0.93% away. If it can close green, well, it's green right now. So as long as it closes green, it'll look like you're bouncing off the 50. But the 50 area itself is not something that's so significant. I shouldn't say it. The 50 line, the area around the 50 has been somewhat significant, but the line itself, there's not really like, here we go. Here's one rejection. Here's two rejections right off that line. And other than that, there's nothing else. So in its whole history, this might be the third time where it's actually come into contact with that line and had a significant bounce afterwards. But again, I don't know, like, let's see. That wasn't too significant. You ended up moving higher overall, right? Didn't promote much of a move down, did it? And then here, that was about equal, a little bit more than the move up you had, so whatever. And then you moved up higher, and then you went lower, whatever. So who really knows? Who really knows what this is going to do? Overall, in the weekly, though, you do have higher lows and higher highs. You could come down lower in your RSI and kind of meet this like trend like that. You could do something like that and then go up. That would imply over the weeks to come, sometime maybe even into October, that we could find maybe into like the end of September that we could find our low. I know I've been saying that I would expect that this last week of August to the first week of September be the area that we find our low, but time analysis is not my best thing, you guys. I'm better at price analysis. If you've been watching the channel, you know that, because I have been calling for a move down here since we were up here, but I'm sure, just like most of you, I thought that would happen in like 3 weeks or at the most a month. I didn't think that we'd be 2 months later here finally getting down to that. How many weeks has it been, actually? Let's see. From top to there, that was 7 weeks. We're on our 8th week now, so not quite 2 months, but if you want to include this, it could be 9 weeks. But looking at the daily again, kind of same thing. You're in this downtrend in the RSI here. You could go up a little bit more, but man, rejecting that 35 area where you've actually found support before does not look good to me. You could be in a situation where, and this is something I've been expecting to, is that we go down into the oversold zone again, get a higher high, overall perform a lower low in the price. Just because we get a lower low in the price and like we get a higher high does not mean it has to be a slightly lower low. We could wick down a lot in one day, literally like that, come back up and then close. I mean, most of this, I'd say half of it, a little over half of it is a body, but a good chunk of that is a wick as well. And we could have a day where most of it is a wick. So with a day like that, with a big flush out like that, like this day over here, you could see prices move dramatically lower than this. And if we were to take the bottom here to the top, The 1618 is right there at 145. The 1886 is at 138. 1272 at 156. So somewhere in that area could definitely happen, all in a day's time. I don't mean tomorrow, but I mean like in one day, not like in one day's time, but like within a day, whenever that day comes, it could happen. Maybe it doesn't happen in a day. Maybe it slowly bleeds down and it takes like a month to do that. Who knows? But I would expect, all in all, being in the weaker areas of the RSI, that we will see a more dramatic move and stuff like this. And that was kind of the pre prediction. I don't know. The prejudgment before we even had this move. I was saying for a while that as we get into this oversold zone, we are going to see a bigger move than anything we've seen in this range so far, and we did. We got two of our biggest red days on a closing basis and on a wicking basis throughout this whole range once we finally got into the oversold zone. So if we get back into the oversold zone after just showing this very weak, lackluster sideways movement, we could see a very similar move down. In fact, I do wonder from like top here to bottom. That's 30%. If we were to take it, I guess we could do, no, because that wasn't the actual top, right? It'd be like right around here. That could take us all the way down to 136, which is at the bottom of this sweet spot, from low to high here. The 618 and the 618 and the 69 are right there between 135 and 148.57. So we really could go down there. I think that to me would make sense, but we might not. We very well could, continue to go up. But just keep in mind, be patient and don't get too emotional. If we do get a day or a couple days where we move up even above this purple line here. In fact, throughout this whole range, if you sold while you were above this purple line, it was the best time to sell. Best time to sell. Best time to sell. If we get up above there again, it very well could just be another time to sell. In fact, overall, the likelihood of that, in my opinion, would be greater than a good time to buy. If it was to be a good time to buy, what we would want to see on a daily perspective, at least on the Coinbase chart, I know it's different across other charts, but on the Coinbase chart, I would want to see a daily close that's above $222.71. If we get a day to close above there, and then another day to confirm that we are moving past that, then I will forego the idea that we're going to go lower here, and that'd be sad for me because I'd have to buy a little bit higher, but whatever, I'm not at least buying at the highs. I could be buying, somewhere around here, which I'd be okay with. And I'd much rather buy with more confidence that we're going to go up than no confidence, or I don't really have no confidence that we're going to go up, but I have more confidence that we're going to kind of bounce off of this white line and pursue lower prices. That's my opinion. Though we might not even do that. We could just go down from here. Again, I'd give that overall, whether we do this or whether we do this first, I'd give that like a 50-50. Who really knows? And I'm not just saying that because we could go up or go down. I just mean like it's hard to say. It's definitely hard to say right now. And on the 4 hour, again, the RSI is looking not bad. It's looking decent. This price action is looking decent with holding previous areas of resistance as support. The things are there. The things are there. It's all set for this thing to move up another leg if it wants to. But will it is the question. That's definitely the question. Let's see. You are below the 50. You've actually been rejecting the 50, but you're hugging it, man. But you are above the purple line here. Being below the 50 on the long-term RSI and being above the purple line, the 123, is not necessarily a good combination, though it doesn't have to be detrimental. You have been hugging this purple line too, which to me, if you were to bounce off it, I think you would have bounced off it already. So maybe you do go lower, but it's hard to say, All in all, guys, you know what I'm thinking. I think that it goes lower than this low here, probably around 135 to 150 in that range. And then from there, it's, a little bit of consolidation, maybe a little bit of sideways movement. Maybe we just skyrocket to the moon right after that. But all in all, by the end of this bull market, I think that Bitcoin Cash is going to see prices that are well above $13,000, at a minimum $13,000, but it's going to be a spectacular rally. I definitely think it is. I think this is going to be one of the more serious contenders, better performers in the top 20, top 30 coins. Yeah, and that's really all I have to say. So lower first, well maybe it goes higher first, but overall I don't think this downside is done. But then after we have resolved this, great things, glory, I think glory is upon us. So if you like the video, thumbs up, subscribe. I appreciate all of you guys. Take care, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.